Alright, so to start this presentation, I'm going to first go into the data set, and what the data set is where we get all this information from, and it's the corrected Excel file that I just completed. And so when I take that data set and I put it into Tableau, I can use that to make the new charts and the graphs that I'll go on to later. But as of now, I'm just going to kind of talk about this main data set that we've worked with. And pretty much the main purpose of this is it shows like the region, state, salesperson, as well as insurance type for the insurance sales made, as well as the date and like other convenient information. And what this does is it allows us to gauge a list of all this information so that this information can be used to make those charts so we can understand the value of each insurance type as well as where the insurance type comes from. And so now I'm going to get into requirement 2 and kind of go into more specifically how this information in the data site is revealed in my Tableau project. Start requirement 2 with requirement 2AB. We see the total number of sales in the entire state by state range. So it gives you the state as well as the number, and kind of the graph kind of represents where they are. So as you see at the top with the largest bar is New Jersey with the highest number of sales. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you will find that the lowest is actually Massachusetts. And so this kind of reveals state by state how much money they're spending on insurance overall. And then next we're going to go into requirement 2C, talk about averages regarding state insurance. Alright, so as we're now here in requirement 2C, we kind of see how the averages relate to that overall insurance number with country or states such as New Jersey still at the top of that. So it's kind of the same reflected where the states with the larger average of insurance are going to be higher, and then states in the bottom with the lower average of insurance are going to be lower. And this can be represented by the data set, and you see the size of the bar represents the average amount of insurance purchased. And so this is represented by this graph, and represents each state and how much average insurance they're purchasing. Wrap up requirement 2 by talking about overall policy numbers. And so as you see in the top, this is the number of policies that each state has purchased. And so you have the states with the higher policy purchases or number of policies purchased at the top. And then like all the other graphs, as we scroll down, the states that has purchased the least policies, the number of sales is all the way at the bottom. So now with requirement 3, we're kind of taking that information from requirement 1 state-wise, and we're breaking it down into regions. And so each region has the states that are within it, and these are the numbers of sales per region. And so as you see, Northeast has the highest with 9,770,475, all the way with New England having the least amount of sales with 5,075,358. I just wanted to add, as I talk about this requirement, obviously in dollars, and the previous one regarding states was policy sold, but this one, as you see by the bottom, it represents dollars, and so those values for each of the regions are dollar-wise. And now I'm going to move on to requirement 4. All right, and so now with requirement 4, we kind of break down that information that we had in the previous regions requirement, and this is the information for salesperson of each region. And so as we see, the salespersons are listed for each region, and obviously it shows the numbers with the bar on how much sales each of these had in the regions that they're within. So like Peter had the largest amount of sales in the West region, and someone like Mario had the least in the North Central region. So that's what this requirement shows, and the color aspect kind of helps to differentiate that, and it adds a fun little twist that Tableau allows you to have. Alright, so now I've moved on to requirement 5, where I'm going to kind of discuss the different types of insurance. And so as salesperson was a part of the data set, so was the type of insurance that the sale was made. So with that, we can calculate the number of sales for each insurance type we've had. And so this chart goes and breaks it down by which region you're in, as well as the sale insurance. And one of the trends that I noticed in here is that the region honestly doesn't really matter the amount of sales sold, because as you can see, professional is always going to be highest, followed by auto, followed by home, followed by disability, then life insurance. So this is a trend you can see across all the regions, and although some regions have higher spending in each of the categories, they still do have that mainstream set of following along, with professional being the highest and then life insurance being the lowest. And now here, as we're on requirement 6, this is a more simple diagram, but it kind of shows some of the information that the past requirements have showed us as this number of sales along state by state. And you can see the lighter color states, that these states are the ones with the lower number of sales. And then when you shift into the darker color states, these are the states with the higher number of sales. And so the Tableau program allows you to go color by color, and you can change color, but I do like blue, so I kept it as this. And this allows you to see the amount of sales in each state and how some states are more sales rich than others. To wrap everything up, I just kind of wanted to I went over a few trends that I've already seen throughout the requirements, but also just a few more kind of the types of insurance and the places they're coming from. You see like more populated areas traditionally are going to have those higher level of insurance purchases, and across the different states these trends are present. You can see that the regions with the higher states purchase like level in insurance, it also reflects that that region is going to have the higher level. And so this has been my Tableau project. I thank you for listening and have a great day.